Okay, right as I was about to start your reading, I started sneezing like crazy. So, and in conjunction with this message that I was getting, there's a lot that needs to be released. That's being an irritant. Now, there was something here. The first thing that came through was something about a gray area. And this gray area kind of being revealed, yes, but also like things not being so confusing or things not being so nebulous. Once you are able to look at the bigger picture, you will be able to make the appropriate adjustments needed in order for this gray area to be very clear to you. Like it'll still be gray, but at least it'll be like, okay, this is what the gray area is. What adjustments do I need to make or needs to be made in order for things to be kind of like put in its compartments. I'm not sure. I'm gonna move on. But anyways, so how I was like, how will they be able to kind of zoom out and look at the bigger picture? How will they be able to know what adjustments are needed? And of course, meditate came through, think things through came through. Don't rush this because at the end of the day, things will be resolved as long as you take the steps forward and you make the effort and you pray and you meditate and you do whatever you do to reach some kind of resolution, then you will get to that resolution. Now, this definitely has something to do with some like a love and partnership type situation. You could be living under the same roof. There could be a lot of tension, maybe some arguments, maybe not like these big, bold arguments, but there could be some arguments there. There could be some feelings of competition there. And what is needed at this time is communication, but that could be the very thing that you are fearing. 220 on the timer when I looked at it. And then as I was trying to get that out, 222 showed up as well. So let's I want to pull some cards here. I'm going to use the um Tarot of Mystical Moments to pull some cards pertaining to this situation. There could be, maybe this is about like financial struggles you may be going through, or I don't know. It could literally be about anything. There's a lot of you watching, so just take it how it resonates. Don't trip if it doesn't. Yeah, the Lovers, Two of Pentacles. There's a lot of like, there's balancing. Something's difficult to balance. There's like a gray area. So, but there is something here like, don't trip. Like, this is going to reach a resolution. And it does feel like something, like sun card energy is coming through. It does feel like it's all gonna work out in the end type situation. And I feel like saying, like, at first you may be looking at the situation like, this is not how I wanted it to turn out, but then down the line, you're like, oh damn, now I see why certain things played out the way that they played out. Like, I needed to learn this thing, or I needed to get this job here. And yeah, this is exactly it. We have the Four of Wands here with the Five of Wands. So 4 5, like, progression is being made, but it's a little hectic right now. And like I was saying, this could have something to do with like a partnership, living under the same house, or working at the same job or something like that. But there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of arguments here, and you're being called to zoom out. Like, there's all these pawns here, and this person at the top, she's zoomed out. She's not on the board, right? She is the board. 444 could be significant. So look at the bigger picture, see what adjustments need to be made in order for you to make the right moves that will be in your for your highest good and for the highest good of all involved as well. We have the Ten of Swords here on the bottom of the deck with the Lovers and the Three of Cups. Yeah, this could definitely something about just feeling locked out of something, feeling stabbed in the back, feeling betrayed by something, like another person or some kind another entity or something coming into the mix, and it's causing some kind of gray area, some like undescribable feelings, or like, just as an example, right? Like, say you really were looking forward to getting this specific job, but then you got an offer somewhere else, and now you're kind of like, ugh, like, I don't know what to do. Or say, a job or a person promised you something, but then they didn't come through on that promise, or they kind of backed out a little bit, and then someone else came through and was like, oh, I could give you that too, whatever, right? But then all of a sudden it was like, oh, here's that thing that I promised you, and you're kind of in the middle, like, damn. now I gotta weigh my options here with these two situations. Yeah, the Star, and this could be with the Three of Swords. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you're like in the middle of something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I hope those examples made sense, but I do feel like for some of you, this was something that you wished for, and it was taking a long time, and so you're like, fuck it, I'm moving on, or I'm gonna apply somewhere else, or I'm gonna get a new partner, or whatever it may be, and then all of a sudden your wish came in, and you're like, oh my God, like, I don't really know what to do now. There is something here about like fearing to communicate something, because you are fearing like what the communication will be, or you're just maybe fearing to really say what's on your mind with this King of Swords here, but also what's on your heart with the Three of Wands, and being able to just open up, right? Three of Wands, expand your like throat chakra. Yeah, open up that space so you can communicate, yes, what's on your mind, but also where you can communicate what's on your heart. I just said that. I'm like repeating myself for some reason. Yeah, maybe you'll have to repeat yourself to someone. Maybe they forgot something. Oh, also, I wanted to show you the date and time. Oh, wow. So cute. Okay. So it's Wednesday, September 24th. Sorry, that's completely out of focus. It's 8:02, but on my phone it says 2002. So 2002 could be a significant year, but also that's mirroring numbers. So again, it's something about like mirroring someone. Eight of Wands. There's this communication. Fast communication, either coming in to you, or you kind of giving this communication. But also it kind of feels like you are receiving something from like a dream, or your ancestors, or your guides, or God, or you're reading something in some kind of spiritual text. Like, you're getting some kind of communication in that you're going to have to sit with, and it will help you get out of this gray area. Another thing about the Eight of Wands is that it's great, right? It talks about like, communication coming in, manifestations coming in, and we have that Star card showing up twice. But also, the Eight of Wands can be pretty chaotic, right? If these Eight Wands don't have a solid ground to land on, it can get pretty disorganized and discombobulated, and you can feel more confused than you did in the beginning, right? So I think this is why you're being called to meditate, to really think things through, to kind of work through your fears and have a solid foundation. Be strategic, yes, but also make sure you're good within, right? Make sure your mind is right. Make sure you're not too much in your emotions when you're trying to communicate something. Think things through is what I want to say to this, but also don't overthink it. And I know that's really difficult. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune here. Five of Swords. Like I was saying, I'm clarifying these here. There is some arguments here when it's coming to some kind of... It almost feels like, dang, like I'm supposed to be celebrating this, but instead it's like this very combative Ooh, something that just came to mind is like you thought certain people were going to be happy that you were. Wow. As I split, wow, with the Queen of Cups. Yeah, this is definitely a message for some of you. 1010 on the timer. You thought someone, someone or some people were going to be happy that you are expecting whether this is like a literal human child, or you have just opened up a new business, or you're starting a new endeavor, and you thought certain people were going to be happy about that, but instead it's like kind of the opposite. You're not really kind of the opposite tower here. Wow, you're not really feeling like they're proud of you, and it's supposed to be a celebration, but instead it's like it does not feel like that. Take it how it resonates. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Take that. That's a message for you, confirming this message is for you if that is currently happening right now. But also, it could also just be like you really thought something was gonna be, like a nice little celebration, but it's turning into something way harder than you imagined, much more difficult than you imagined. I want this one here and this one. Oh, that was at the bottom. I didn't realize that. Four of Swords here. This is about meditating and contemplating. Yeah, there's something needs to be adjusted in a major way, I feel like, with this Death card energy coming through. Five of Wands being clarified by the Queen of Swords. Like I was saying, think things through first, right? See the bigger picture. She's looking through this. She's looking at the bigger picture here. She's seeing what adjustments need to be required, like I was saying with this Five of Wands, before all these birds here, birds are about messengers. We have this blue can represent the throat chakra. So it's like before you start just yapping away, make sure you have all the information that you need right now, first of all, but also you're not, you're being strategic with something, but not to the detriment of yourself. Like, don't be conniving. Don't be sneaky to the point where you're like, act in the highest good for yourself and for those involved is what I want to say to that. Eight of Wands being clarified by the Seven of Cups. Exactly. This communication, it's a little nebulous, but also, again, it's something coming from the stars, guides, angels, ancestors, star family, however you resonate with. But also, this is giving me this energy of like when the stars align. Seven of Cups, what is that when it comes to I'm gonna have to look that up. Hold on, give me a second. So Seven of Cups, the planetary. It says here, ooh, I don't know how accurate this is. Should I go with it? Neptune, that sounds about right, but I want it specifically. I can't find anything. Now this other thing is saying it's correlated with Venus and Scorpio. Excuse me? It'll make more sense for the cups to be associated with them. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure that out. I don't know. Maybe that's part of the message too. Like Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. You can have your Venus or your Neptune in these placements. I don't know, maybe, or maybe when it's moving into those. I don't really know what the astrology is doing right now. But there's something about like when the planets align, but like quite literally. This could also be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, obviously it's 7. Why am I counting? This could be a week, but also I'm getting something about like 7 moon cycles as a time frame for something. But yeah, it's like being able to finally see clearly what you want to choose, and choosing that boldly and with confidence, choosing that one right there. That's what I want. but it's going to involve, and you're going to need to really take the time to do yourself a favor and meditate, contemplate, work through your fears. I'm actually going to use the Moonology deck, because a lot of these cards are coming to mind. I'm just giving them a little shuffly, a little bootleg one before I go. Look what I split on. Adjustments are required. Step out of your comfort zone. Maybe you need to speak up about something. Just as an example, take if it resonates, if it's about a love situation. If you're like unclear about like, well, what are we? Then ask that shit. Call them up on the phone. Hey, what's up? Like, what's going on with us? Just be direct. This is asking for being direct. Ain't no time to play games. Nothing is yet set in stone. Interesting. Believe in the impossible. Yeah, I think some of you have it in your mind that because it's going a certain way right now, that's just the way it's going to continue to go. And I feel like it's like, nah, things can change. 8 of Wands, 7 of Cups, this is very much so, it changes with the wind, right? 7 of Cups, water changes based on the vessel that it's in, right? Fire, Wands energy is moving. It can change with the wind, right? So yeah, I think you really need to. Then we got this blue moon here, so maybe a next like blue moon or something. I think that's when 2 full moons are in a month or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I think you need to be a little bit more open to what is actually possible for your life. Like actually getting what you want. Conclusions are within reach. This is what I was talking about earlier, about something about like a gray area. It's coming to, come on. You and your loved ones are safe at the bottom of the deck, okay? I feel like someone really needed to hear that. But the 2 at the top, meditate and contemplate, and a personal issue reaches resolution. Cancer, Pisces. Yeah. Very interesting. I think the moment you give yourself a chance to just really think about things, to take care of yourself, your mental health, your physical health, you're very close to achieving your goal here. When it comes to getting out of the gray area, I do feel like this has a lot to do with love. Let's read this one out of the book. No way. Look at the bigger picture. Sure. Show the world the real you. Just like I was saying, like, I think there's a lot of fears about communicating something and just being upfront and being real. Don't worry about it, baby. Wow. New moon in Aquarius, full moon in Aquarius. Bring love into the situation. Yeah, like I said, communicate clearly, strongly, right? Assertively if necessary, but also with love. What was I saying? Something about like opening up that throat space to speak from your heart. I love that. This is a beautiful confirmation. Let's read this full moon in Sagittarius on page 84. 84 could be a significant year or number. And the cards right before that is it's time to release negativity, Scorpio energy, and then the end of a tough cycle approaches, Capricorn energy. So That could be significant. Are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Fretting over minutiae can be counterproductive. Or perhaps you are being all talk and no action. This card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you then see about your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't yet have exactly what you want. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. Attune to the moon. Take time out for a mini break or adventure. And it's funny that I put this over the Four of Swords. Rest, rejuvenation, recuperation. Additional meanings for this card. This situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Like I was saying, there's some kind of distraction here. Be confident without being overconfident to win the day. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. Again, it's like maybe this is you needing to reach out and start a conversation about something, because perhaps maybe this other energy or this other person feels like you don't care, right? Find a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. I feel like I was saying that, maybe not in such a direct way, but like being strategic, yes, but also communicating and not overthinking that communication. So the teaching here says the full moon in Sagittarius is a time when we are reminded that life is an adventure and there's a big wide world to see beyond our backyard. It's about having fun and being prepared to sail into uncharted territory. It's about big ideas versus the details. No matter when you draw this card, it encourages you to look at the bigger picture. Yeah, 84, 85 could be significant years. I hope that was helpful. I love you so much. Take care.